We want out. London, bathed in sunlight, felt unusually heavy. There was tension in the air, not chaos, but something deeper. A collective frustration. Outside 10 Downing Street, the Union Jack fluttered not as a symbol of unity, but of protest. People gathered in numbers far greater than expected. A year ago, no one would have predicted this moment. But now, the demand was clear. Prime Minister Keir Starmer must resign. He once promised grown-up politics. If this is what that looks like, then clearly the grown-ups have left the room. It's our turn now. Starmer's political image is polished, smooth, composed, but lacking soul. He campaigned as a man of integrity, someone who'd restore faith. But once in power, it became clear he offered not leadership but bureaucracy. At a time when Britain needed direction and courage, he gave us procedure and hollow phrases. When people longed for vision, he brought spreadsheets. He's as dry as old paper, his moral compass as weak as soggy cereal. He rose through Labour's ranks by riding the wave of Corbyn's passion, only to discard that energy like a costume after curtain call. In its place, he served up a dull brand of centrism, bland reheats of yesterday's politics. His supporters speak of competence, but competence in what? Neutrality. Fence-sitting. Delivering robotic statements devoid of meaning. He's the kind of leader whose emails you'd skip reading. Full of noise, void of purpose. He speaks of unity but breeds division. He offered hope but delivered a recycled echo of Blair-era politics, minus the drive or heart. The only structure he's built is a blueprint for uninspired, disconnected leadership. And the people protesting today, students, nurses, veterans, shopkeepers, they aren't fringe voices. They're everyday citizens, waving flags not out of patriotism, but desperation. They feel ignored by a leader who avoids clear positions, dodges accountability, and seems increasingly disconnected from reality. It's no longer possible to stay silent. Starmer's politics are slippery, his policies shape-shifting by the hour. One moment he's tough on borders, the next he's the darling of big business, and suddenly he's advocating social justice, all in a single day's news cycle. His only consistency is his inconsistency. This isn't leadership. It's political survivalism. A game of appearances. And no, he doesn't care about us, not really. He avoids the media like it's contagious and dodges questions with the skill of a seasoned salesman. His team? A batch of soulless advisors fresh off the conveyor belt of neoliberal strategy. We aren't moved, we're worn out. Even Labour MPs speak in hushed tones, afraid to say aloud what they all suspect. Starmer is steering a rudderless ship. What once was a party of bold ideas and working-class hope has become a branding exercise. A logo. A slogan. A safe bet for consultants and strategists. Gone are the ideals. Gone is the heart. It's no wonder the British public, patient to a fault, has finally had enough. What began as murmurs over tea and pints has spilled into the streets. We want answers. We want truth. While Starmer ducks behind press briefings and recycled soundbites, people are stepping up. Speaking out. Refusing to be silent. He misread the mood. The image he built, crafted for the cameras, tailored for social media, can no longer hold. The tide of frustration is rising. It's built on real pain, real stories, real demands. And the truth is knocking. Loudly. Starmer is no longer the leader Britain needs. We need someone who listens, who leads with vision and empathy. If he won't step aside, the people will make sure he hears them. The silence is over. Britain is waking up. Thank you to the Lords who contributed to this important debate. Special recognition goes to Lord Lisa Vaughan for a graceful maiden speech. Debate exists to challenge consensus, and I'm proud to have done just that. Wasn't it Benjamin Franklin who said, "When everyone's thinking the same, no one is thinking"? Let's look at our energy costs. They're the highest in the developed world. And that's not bad luck. It's self-inflicted. It's deeply unfair to working people who carry the burden. Billions are handed to wind farm owners, many foreign, just because the wind blew too hard at the wrong time. We risk turning net zero from a worthy goal into a symbol of inequality. We don't need to abandon it, but we must reassess it. Right now, it's becoming the biggest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich since the days of feudal lords. These green taxes, they aren't seen as visionary, they're seen as a penalty on working people and a dead weight on our industries. That cannot be the narrative. We're in 2025. Net zero is still 25 years away. This is the time for course correction, for realism, for prioritizing affordability and energy security. The global landscape has changed since 2019. We must reindustrialize, strengthen our economy, and give our people pride and purpose. In an uncertain world, we might need to rebuild military strength. But most importantly, we must ensure our citizens feel safe, secure, and prosperous. It's time for this House to recognize that affordability matters just as much as ambition. Net Zero 2050 must be revisited in that light. I commend this motion to the House. Those words, "If everyone's thinking the same, no one is really thinking," hit home during yesterday's fiery exchange with the Energy Secretary. They exposed the growing divide in Labour's approach to climate policy. What began as a meaningful environmental commitment has now hardened into a political religion. Energy prices are soaring. Businesses are being crushed. Britain's energy security is unraveling. Yet Labour pushes ahead with its green goals as if the cost were irrelevant. Energy security must come first, especially after Ukraine and the pandemic. But under Labour, Britain is trading one dependency for another. Abandoning domestic oil and gas while leaning on imports for wind turbines and solar tech means giving away our future to unstable markets. And what of the price tag? Experts warn that net zero could cost trillions. But the government won't say a word. Questions about cost, feasibility, and reliability are met with silence. Yesterday's interrogation of the Energy Secretary offered no clarity. No numbers. Just vague talking points. What happens when the wind doesn't blow or the sun disappears? What will it cost the average family? These aren't climate denier questions. These are the questions responsible democracies ask. But in Britain, to even question net zero is treated as heresy. Parliament has become an echo chamber, where doubts are dismissed and alternative views ignored. The public deserves better. They deserve honesty, accountability, and energy policies grounded in reality, not ideology.